goal is to bring you your next favorite band.
Sweet, that intro is my new favorite band. That's phenomenal. I'm so excited to be on.
Yeah. I heard a rumor that you might be able to play that song live today.
You heard correctly. Yes.
Excellent. So,
good enough for Robert.
I don't know when I rock out here on your next favorite band and show.
and listen, it's going to be everybody's favorite band.
Phil, you weren't supposed to make me get all... God almighty,
But this
Phil.
is why we do it.
Like, seriously. I gotta gather myself. All right, go ahead.
Okay.
Welcome to your next favorite band. That's both the show title and our promise to you. We here at Stereophilia Studio are tireless in our pursuit of finding incredible, genre-defiant artists who are either a hot up-and-coming band or a group that has been delivering for years but have flown under the radar. Tonight, we bring you music that is introspective, layered, and delicate drums and warm vocals. We have violinist, songwriter, and Each terrible month, cook, we will Zoey bring Lemon. you live streams, audio podcasts, and perhaps even a live concert where you can listen to the stories and hear the music of artists personally curated by us based on what we feel will be worthy of your time. Be sure to subscribe and tune in to each episode because the possibilities are endless, and you never know who will be
Your next favorite band.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. I am your host, Philip Reese, and you are listening to Your Next Favorite Band. Tonight, your next favorite band is Zoey Lemon, and two things off the top here. One, I have nothing to base on the terrible cook comment that was in her bio. That was not me. And don't at me. It is Zoey Lemon, not Zoey. That is actually something that we want to make sure we get right here, because even in her Instagram handle, it is Zoe, not Zoey, is the actual handle there. So Zoey Lemon, one of the most interesting songwriters, performers. Like, it's just one of the things that we are obviously in search of is unique and different, but still exceptional, and that's what we definitely have here tonight. I can't wait to talk about how you perform a violin and sing. Like, that's got to be extremely difficult. We thought, drums and singing was hard. Like, this seems even harder. So we can't wait to learn more about that. But before we get to the interview, self-promotion. In 2 weeks, we are going to have a very cool episode. We did it last year for the first time, and it seemed to go well, so we're going to do it again. It's the triple collabo episode. There's now twice a year that Nate Runkle from Yo, That's My John and Dan Drago from 25 O'Clock Pod join the show, and the three of us just chat about something. And here in the kind of May-ish, June-ish timeframe, what we like to do is talk about the summer music lineup, whether it's certain festivals that are coming around, certain bands that are touring, pretty much whatever any one of the three of us is looking forward to, we like to share it. That obviously swings it kind of Pennsylvania, Northeast, Eastern Seaboard, Jersey, New York, maybe DC, what have you. But a lot of these things are touring, so you may learn of something closer to where you are, or you're going to be super jealous of what we have here and want to make a trip for it. But yes, like one of the things is just yesterday, the Philly Music Fest lineup was announced, which once again is an absolute killer lineup, and there's some things still yet to be announced that can't wait to learn more. And that's not until October. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about Music Fest in August, but we're really going to focus a lot of attention on the kind of Memorial Day weekend is where a lot of those series start. A lot of them free, some of them subsidized ticket-wise by the local townships, or just simply ticketed because it's so phenomenal. But pretty much late May through the summer, we're going to talk about a bunch of different things. That episode airs on Wednesday, May 28th, and it's just fun to reconnect. And Dan isn't even in the country anymore. He lives in Hong Kong. So we luck out, though, that because it's a 12-hour time difference, our 8 p.m. is his 8 a.m., and he can make it work. So going to be very excited. I haven't really talked with Dan or saw Dan since he left. So it'll be, a very special episode of the show. So anyway, looking forward to that and sharing a bunch of these different lineups. But we definitely want to get to our interview tonight. So let's spend a moment here with our sponsor, BetterHelp, and then we'll get into some... Hey, music lovers. Before we dive into today's episode, I want to tell you about our sponsor, BetterHelp. More and more mental health topics of depression, anxiety, addiction, and more are coming up in our interviews with artists and musicians who are brave enough to share them and the music that came out of the journey. Those songs may even help us feel a little bit less alone as we work through the same struggles, but at the end of the day, we need more than just a great song. We need therapy, and that's where BetterHelp can assist. BetterHelp connects you with a therapist who can help you find your path. Instead of being stuck in the endless loop of questioning yourself, you can talk through questions, concerns with someone who's trained to help you find real answers. As you know, our Listen to the Dissonance shows help to create a safe space for vulnerable conversations, but not everywhere can feel that way. Since BetterHelp is accessed via their app, you can explore your options and conduct your sessions in the comfort of your own home or wherever you feel is best for you. After you download the app, you'll get started by filling out a questionnaire and get matched with a therapist in as little as a couple of days. And if that's not feeling right, you can easily switch to a different therapist at any time at no extra cost. They carefully make sure the therapists on the platform are well qualified and their customer support team is there to help you with any questions. With over 7,000 reviews and a 4.5 rating on Trustpilot, BetterHelp is a platform that you can trust. We at Your Next Favorite Band believe in breaking the stigma around mental health, and going to therapy is a sign of strength, not weakness. And with BetterHelp, it's easier than ever to take that first step towards feeling better. Click the link here or go to betterhelp.com/nextfaveband and you'll get 10% off your first month of therapy. That's betterhelp.com/nextfaveband. It's okay to ask for help. Contact BetterHelp today. I miss my pictures. They're right over there. I just have to get them hung up on this wall. So let's make sure we make that happen soon. But anyway, let's get into some music with our guest tonight. It is Zoey Lemon, and take a listen to this tremendous song called Koi.
Who says that I've got the answer? Jumping through hoops, looping time. Does the fish know it's in water? Do we all share the same sky? Caught swimming upstream. Everybody's trying to do big things. Storm running through rain. Nobody's gonna win that race. This long day short. Forgot what we're working towards. Face red, heart blue. Telling lies I wish were true.
I'm going to read this from first person here. So, hi, I'm Zoe, rhymes with toe, a violinist, songwriter, and terrible cook. My music is introspective, with layered strings, delicate drums, and warm vocals. My debut EP, Tailspin, was featured on WXPN, WKDU, and NPR. I recorded my second EP in 2024 with Nashville-based producer Thad Kopec, and it will be released in June. Outside of songwriting, I enjoy screen printing, running, and roller skating. I also work as a 5th grade music teacher, love to doodle, and recently started a mini zine project called Lemon Peel Post. Every time I release a new song, I'll send you a free one-of-a-kind zine. Join the snail mail list. Things back up, and then we'll bring Zoe on the show.
Always slurring my speech. Do you think we're so different? Sleeping and grinding our teeth. Caught swimming up.
Welcome to the show, Zoe Lemon.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
I
don't think I've seen this video since it came out, so I am loving watching it. It was such a perfect fun day on Kelly Drive.
That's so cool. Yeah, tell us more about it. Who's in it, and and more about just the creation of it. It's such a fun, like playful, almost childlike fun you're having here.
Yeah, I think that is really the not my
Fantastic.
best, not my. I was telling my friend Ab to take that to her grave. My
There you
little
go.
dive there.
Yeah,
That
tell
was
us more about the video.
that video. We just went to Kelly Drive. Me, my friend Cam, who you hear his vocals on the
Sure.
chorus. We recorded the song together years ago, and while we were both in college at Temple, and then I don't know, we just never put it out, but I always really liked it. I started to play
Yeah.
it live, and then I was like, Cam, I think if it's okay with you, I'm just gonna put out like the voice memo
Mm-hmm.
that we made. And he was like, yeah, that's great. And then I put it out, and then I was like, oh my gosh, we should create a video about this. And I haven't seen him in a really, I mean, a year and a half, maybe even 2 years at that point when we recorded the video. So
Sure.
me and my friend Ab and Cam just all met up on Kelly Drive one day, and I had like Facebook Marketplace, those really beat up red bikes that you see.
Right.
I think I got them for $5 each. It was just a bunch of stuff like that.
Right.
And we used the app, I think it's called Swimly. It's like Airbnb for pools. Have you heard of it?
No.
I had never heard of it. You can rent people's pools for the afternoon, which I was really weirded out to
Sure.
do.
I would be too.
But it was actually so fun. It was like a cooker of a day, and we just crashed someone's pool and hung out for the afternoon. And I guess you can take your iPhone. I think it's up to 3 feet, which I also didn't know. I learned a lot of things that day. And we just like filmed it on all of our iPhones, and
That's so fun.
it was a really fun day.
I would probably have anxiety attack if I put my phone in the water, but
Well, I
there you
did
go. There's
too.
proof.
I did too, but my friend Abigail just was like, look, see, and dropped her phone like all the way down to the deep end. And I was like, okay, that's bold. If she's doing that, I'll like take mine in the shallow end. So I think
There you go.
I kept a hold on mine, but
Yeah.
hers was all over the place.
That's
And it still works. I think she still has the same one.
that's fantastic. Wow. And then so also tell me about the music. So like I said it off the top, like I feel like your music is such a unique and interesting approach to songwriting. It has this like, you know, I don't know what the right phrasing would be. Like I don't know what the right adjective is, but it's so different. And I think it's because you're obviously violin forward. Like it's not a guitar, it's not keys, it's not, you know, even bass for that matter. Like it's this, and you know, sometimes using it almost quite like a mandolin, but then other times as a violin. But it's such a different approach to songwriting. I don't know, just maybe talk about the inspiration behind it, or you know, it reminds me of like the Talking Heads or something. Like it's just so random or weird. Like it's just, but in such a great way.
Wow, Talking Heads. Okay, huge compliments. Keep talking, keep going. No, seriously, thank you so much, Phil. That really means a lot to me. I know that you are an avid listener of music.
Yeah.
And, that means a lot that you think whatever I'm doing is cool. I
Yeah.
appreciate that. I think the ethos of this project is just pretty simple. I love playing violin. I want to keep my rig simple. And I really love to sing. I don't really care to play guitar or keys. But I don't necessarily feel like I'm just a singer
Sure.
either. So it feels really good. I guess I primarily feel like a violinist first and foremost.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you're totally on the hitting the nail on the head with it's very violin centric, and that is really the center of all my songs are.
And if you look at every instrument almost as a separate language, this is then in a completely different dialect than other songs because they wrote in that dialect and you're writing in this one, and then so by its nature it's just going to sound very different, but incredibly like melodic and beautiful. Like so, it's just a very cool thing that I just hope people are digging.
Thanks. Thank you so
And you
much.
must be like, all that aside, like you're part of a bunch of lineups. Like I was talking off the top there, we're doing you know, our summer music kind of like preview in 2 weeks. But as we're prepping for it, you're part of Wayne Music Fest. You're part of the Music Fest here in Bethlehem. Like, and then other stuff that's brewing for you. Like we can talk more about promotion later on, but like you're doing something awesome because you're getting booked on all these lineups.
Thanks. I know. It was a goal. I'm actually looking at my 2025 aspirations list, which
Nice.
is on my super chaotic wall, but a little further down.
We're getting one piece of it, but I'm
You're getting,
glad to hear
one
it continues.
weird glimpse of it. There's more. And on it was to play one festival. And this year, a bunch reached out to me. So I was like, what the heck? Who am I
Yeah.
to know if it's
So just a quick little inside baseball. Do you know your day and time yet for Music Fest? Because they don't announce anything. But okay.
Oh, yeah.
And
Can
how
I
long of a
tell?
set do you have?
Well, it's a 90-minute.
That's what I was going to ask. So the amount of musicians who don't realize that until they get there and they're like, I don't have 90 minutes of music. But like,
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure, like, you have 90?
I think I was talking about it with my band yesterday, actually. I think I am pretty close to it. I probably will add a couple covers, knowing myself.
And
But it's
that's
still far away. I
absolutely.
might write some more.
Mm-hmm. Well, you have that awesome cover of the Dr. Dog song that's out there, and I know you have a couple others that are like on YouTube and whatnot. But I'm personally hoping you might consider doing an Accidentals cover song.
Yeah, we were talking about. Show them your shirt. Can
I
they
got it
see?
here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that it'll fit your style well. Like it'll be a Zoe Lemon version of one of their songs, but with Sav Madigan playing violin. Like it can so easily kind of go right in the pocket for you. But I mentioned Dr. Dog. Is it true that you learned how to play the violin from the wife of one of the members of Dr. Dog?
Yeah. How did you know that? That's creepy, and it's true. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So where did that happen?
I really think it was just happenstance. I really got obsessed with playing violin. I think it was either my grandmother or my dad, I can't remember, got me a Hilary Hahn Plays Bach record for Christmas one year.
Fun.
And I got truly obsessed. Like I would listen to it. I was homeschooled, so I could listen to it all throughout the school day. And I really did. And I would like use like sticks, or we had a lot of hobby horses at my house. And so I would like make violins and play along with the record.
So you were playing air violin the way
I was
other people
air
play.
violining
Nice.
before it was cool. Is it cool
You made it
yet?
cool.
I don't think it is cool yet.
You're going to make it cool.
I'm really ahead of the time.
Yeah,
what
there
can
you
I say? I don't think air violin will ever be cool. But my parents were really like, okay, like it's just a fad. I'm definitely someone who lives really intensely, and as a child had many like hobbies that I was all about for a week and then passed on. So I think they just thought that's what was happening.
Mm-hmm.
And I probably did too, to some degree. But something about that record really moved me. To this day, I listen to it often.
How cool.
And so they finally just got me violin lessons at the Wilmington Music School. And it just happened that the teacher that I was assigned, Janka Pernis, who is awesome. She really has been a lifelong role model for me, and someone that I still have a close relationship with.
Fantastic.
And really admire how she lives her life as a teacher and a musician, but also just a person. And I remember her boyfriend at the time was like, yeah, I'm in a band called Dr. Dog. And I guess I don't know if they had blown up at that point.
Sure.
I can't remember. I was too little. But my dad and I would listen to all their songs on the way to swim lessons after violin. Because I was like, I don't know how I heard about this band. And I just really thought they were cool from a young age too.
They're so good.
Yeah, aren't they the best?
Absolutely. But yeah, so talk to me a little bit more about childhood. So how old are you there where you're looking for like the violin? Like what age is that really just grabbing a hold of you?
I think I was 8.
Got it.
I actually got my first like rental violin on my littlest brother's birthday. And I remember deciding to play him Happy Birthday without any lessons or anything. Fun. And I can just see everyone's faces trying to be encouraging.
Right.
And it was difficult.
And was it a half-size violin or was it a full-size?
I think it was a quarter.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right. I can imagine little hands and little neck, like trying to do like a regular. Yeah.
Yeah. It was a little guy.
Yeah. So cool. And then, so one other story I heard from back then was most people at that age get a dog. You got a goat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow, I really feel like I'm on Nardwar right now. Yeah, we got a goat named Miss Mabel, a huge white Nubian dairy goat.
Right.
And she was really dog-like and just followed us around, played in the yard. But it is very strange. She was like an outdoor, like a livestock goat for sure. We milked her and like drank and
goat milk.
Nice.
Um,
but she was incredibly social, which I don't think my parents really knew when they got one goat. I don't think they realized, like, you know, or maybe they thought we have one goat, but we have 4 kids, so it's all good.
Yeah.
But
they'll be social with the kids.
Yeah, she would like push through the door of our house and be like in the house with her hooves, and it was like slipping on the wood floor.
This is amazing.
It was so chaotic. And I remember we like would lose the goat, but she was always like inside. She never actually left. She was always like where she just shouldn't be. Yeah. Right. And I remember distinctly one time she was really gone, and we just were like, where is this thing? And my dad, I guess he went up to his bedroom. My parents' room is on like the 3rd floor. And the goat was actually asleep in their bed. And my dad was like, no, this is it. The goat has to go. So I think the goat went back to the big farm, the big dairy farm down the street.
Goat's no dummy. I'll sleep in a bed over the outside on a bale of hay. Yeah.
I couldn't believe that.
That's amazing.
I know. I definitely am from one of those families that has, people like that just have like crazy stories again and again. I think I come from a big family and
of crazy stories.
Just of crazy stories all the time.
Fantastic. So you go to Temple for music, but rather than skipping over, like, I have to imagine too. So here you are, somewhat obsessed with the violin into those high school years. Did you play in like the orchestra or whatever, or were you trying to do your own thing? Like, how were the high school years for you with this journey for music?
I really gave my all to playing classical violin up through my sophomore year of college. I really practiced pretty intensely. I played in youth orchestras. I took weekly lessons, sometimes twice a week. I mean, that was my whole life. And I did always, now that I'm through it, I don't know, I wouldn't have said this back in high school, but I really didn't fit in with the orchestra kids, with the band kids, and or at least I felt that way. I felt like they cared and like knew about classical music in a way that I just felt like I couldn't get there.
Well, if I had to guess, and I could be way off here because I'm just making a guess, but based on knowing about your music and doing the research for the interview, you probably wanted to change it instead of just playing what was there.
Probably. I think that's a pretty astute.
Yeah. Or like experiment with it or whatever and be like, what if we did this? And they were probably like, that's not what you do. Like, you know what I mean? Like sometimes there's music theory and you just play the notes and you try to make it sound like exactly the way the composer wanted it to. And then there's almost a jazz level approach to it where you're like, let's have some fun with this. And maybe they just weren't ready to have any fun with the music.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's such a rush when you're playing with a big ensemble. I feel like that is so fun. You kind of like feel like you're floating and riding out those dynamics and those just all the emotion in like a symphony or,
Yeah.
And
no, I totally know what you mean.
Is like such a big rush.
Yep.
So I don't know if I've never thought about that. I'll have to get back to you.
Let me deeply reflect on this, on my awesome high school years.
Yeah, I just am not, that never occurred to me like, oh, I would like to change this. I think I just always felt like you know, like when you're going down the steps and you kind of forget like the one step, and so you're like
right.
still upright, but you're a little bit
Yep.
off.
Yep.
I think that's how I felt in all classical music, definitely through high school.
Sure.
Just a little bit like I was in it and I really cared about it, but there was something that just wasn't fitting.
Got it.
And then my college years at Temple, I really feel like I decided I didn't like classical music, which I don't feel that way anymore. But I think when your whole environment is music school,
Sure.
it's really emotional when you realize I definitely can't do this forever.
Right. Yeah, you're also, it's not just whether you like it or not, it's whether or not that's the path you want to be on as a career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think going to the Philly Orchestra every week with Easy Seat U, which is awesome. If you're a college student and you're listening, get that. You can go every week for $25 for the whole year. It's crazy. But going there and really looking at, not that I ever could have gotten into the Philly Orchestra, but that like really seeing them and the shows that they would do week after week, all the repertoire that they had to learn, and I just felt like, wow, I just can't do this. This is so not what I want. So I think it sent me into a little bit of an identity spiral.
Sure. Because if that wasn't your path, then what was it? Like, you know, until that point, you were like, there was no crossroads for you, and now there suddenly was. And you were going to take the turn.
Yeah. And I just put in like 10 years of like really intense effort.
Sure.
Just to be like 18, just moved to Philly and be like, I don't think this is for me at all.
Right. But you're able to find a new path. You go down the path of jazz.
Yeah. I really did. I sat down and had the same exact conversation with the director at Boyer School of Music, you know, which is like the music school at Temple University.
Right.
And yeah, I just sat down with him and was like, I don't know what to do. I love music. I'm not going to make it for these next 4 years as a classical major. There's no way. And I didn't know anything about jazz. And he just gave me Kind of Blue by Miles Davis on a CD.
Oh, yeah.
And he was like, do you have a CD player? Like, listen to this. And
it's just 5 tracks of just utter genius. Like it's I think for many people that is a life-changing sound. That album in particular.
Yeah. It is. I mean, I think it's just really emotional. It's a great band. Anyway, he gave me that record and I was like, I don't know jazz at all, but I really liked the people in the jazz department. I feel like I had a lot of friends and they were like, just do it, just try. And I'm really glad that I did.
Sure.
But some of my most embarrassing moments, just because I had no language, I had no knowledge or understanding. And then I would get thrown into like these ensembles and this theory class. And I was just the one person that did not know anything.
Right.
So
yeah, I can imagine that's super scary because you're going from classical, which is super structured, and here are these, you know, play all these 16th notes and don't stop until you're done. And then all of a sudden jazz, it's like everyone points to you and you're like, what do I do? And you're like, whatever you want. But I don't know what I'm doing. Like, yeah, just do anything. It's like you have to have the trust and the confidence in yourself and the bandmates. And if it's the first time you're ever doing it, it's like being thrown in the deep end, like the iPhone.
Yeah, it did. Unlike the iPhone, I did not feel waterproof. I did not feel prepared. But it was very beneficial. I feel like I really grew a lot and learned a lot. And what I didn't know, I've been really reflecting on like the path and the journey that we take. I think at that point, I just wanted to be creative in college.
Sure.
That's what I wanted to do.
Right.
And what I didn't realize is that I was a songwriter and I really wanted what my real true calling as an artist is to craft full songs with chords, playing my violin improvising a little bit, but also being able to lead through band rehearsals and know exactly what I want out of a sound, and the weird like Frankenstein of music degrees that I got really, really helped me be able to do that and navigate that in a comfortable way. And I'm really grateful to that path. But yeah, definitely on the way, I was like, what am I doing? This is not going well. I'm terrible at jazz. I don't want to play classical. What am I like?
But it ends up becoming the right circuitous path to wherever you were wanting to land. And so if I understand it right, you graduate and then do you immediately hit the road? Like, is this the van life like kicks off pretty quickly?
No. Well, I wanted it to, but COVID happened.
Ah, okay.
So I was really planning to graduate in May and take off at least all summer.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
That was 2020 right then and there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Senior year in March, what was that? Like March 16th or whatever. Everything shut down. I moved back with my parents. I started like babysitting, working at the grocery store.
Went and got a goat again. No, I'm just kidding.
I actually did get a dozen chickens. You'll be happy to know.
This is becoming like a Christmas carol.
I know. You can't make it up, can you?
No, right, exactly.
Yeah. What else did I feel like I was doing a bunch of stuff? I was like door dashing. I was just working because I wanted to buy a van,
right,
and then leave as soon as I felt safe to do that.
Right.
So I think I left in January of 2021.
Got it. And so yeah, this is like I said, there's a van life in quotes around what you were doing, and I saw something there where you were in your Eat, Pray, Love road trip.
Eat, Pray, Love road trip. That's funny.
Someone put that out there.
Dan Drago might have said that. I feel like he did.
Okay. Got it. And it leads to the Tailspin EP.
Yeah. So, wow, it's such a good way to think about life. I think you should interview everyone and get them to organize their life like this. So helpful. Yeah, I had always been writing songs in my free time. I mean, my voice memo notes were always little.
Right.
But I think being alone, like camping in the woods, really like drew something out of me that hadn't I guess I hadn't really thought about singing seriously or creating like full songs. I just kind of did it like if I felt, mad at my mom or whatever, I would like, she sucks so much or whatever. But yeah, so I feel like
So this is where almost you kind of like found yourself on this
huge
journey.
Pivotal moment.
Right. And you realize you want to be a songwriter, singer, and a violin player.
Yeah.
And you're writing. This was a quote from you. So you thought you were finding yourself, but you were really avoiding fate. I think that is a quote of yours.
I still feel that way. I think I was just really lost graduating college.
Sure. And right into a pandemic. That's not your fault.
Yeah. There was so many questions that I had, even outside of like the world being a very lonely place, isolating place because of COVID. I think I just felt really like lost on a deep level of, I don't know what to believe. I don't know who to believe in. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what I want to do. Yeah. But I did start to feel like there were a lot of things that I knew I didn't want to do. So I think through that.
That's just as helpful.
It is. At first it wasn't. It felt more confusing. But I think as I sat with those feelings and just being alone in nature, I think it's it's a big deal.
Oh, I love it. Mm-hmm. It is. It's
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah, and it
Yeah,
really
yeah.
like stirs up something at least deep within my heart.
Mm-hmm. And while you're writing, like, so while you're doing that discovery and really kind of finding yourself and you're writing, are you able to recognize like a difference between I'm just kind of effing around to find out versus I definitely have a song here?
I think I guess I don't know when I knew that, but I definitely did feel that way, especially with
Yeah.
Bad Haircut. I really was like, okay, this is a whole idea that I have,
Right.
and I have to say all this stuff. So let me see what I can do with my violin here. And then the
Mm-hmm.
demo was kind of what it was. And I uploaded it to
Right.
SoundCloud and like sent it to my dad. And he was like, I remember he was like, wow, Zoe, this is actually way more thoughtful than I anticipated. And I felt really encouraged because he's an avid listener of music like you.
Sure.
And
Yeah. It's funny, like kind of a
well,
backhanded
I don't
compliment,
think
but
he
thanks,
meant, I think
Dad.
he was just being real with me. Like,
Right.
wow, this is
No,
actually
right.
like, I would actually listen to this. This is actually good.
Yeah. And I wanted to point out too, like, so it's 5 tracks: Bad Haircut, Messy Bun, Shampoo, Split Ends, all hair themed. And then Kurt Vonnegut Would Love You.
Yeah. I tried to
So
make
it's like,
Kurt Vonnegut into a hair reference, and it just
right, he's the sandwich behind the hair bread of the other
exactly.
tracks.
It
Yeah.
wasn't working. So I just said,
Mm.
I feel like it's very cohesive sounding, and all the songs were written in the same 6-month period.
Yeah.
So I felt
Right.
like they all needed to be on the same project.
Yeah. No, and they're all tremendous. I think Messy Bun is one
Oh,
of my
no way.
favorites.
Thanks.
Yeah.
What do you like
Yeah,
about
yeah,
it? I'm curious, if you don't mind.
It's always hard for me to put it in words, but like it's just like as I play, like whether I'm prepping for an interview or for a festival to know who I want to go see, there's always songs that I'll go back to and like deliberately choose to put on, and that's one that I always pick.
Well, I'll have to add
Yeah.
it to our music fest set list right
There you
before
go.
the Accidentals cover. I'll do it.
There you go. That's awesome. I didn't find, like, a lot of times I close with my favorite song, and I couldn't find that one out there on YouTube. So I was like, all right, I'll pick something.
Sorry, I don't have a lot on YouTube.
Yeah, and that's one of the only drawbacks of the format here with live streaming is I almost always have to have it with a video, but we do have the world premiere of your one song, and that is just music. So we'll get to that in a second. So there's a little teaser for people. But yeah, so you came back from that like journey into the woods, created music, and came back, and then 2 friends of yours said, let's record something together.
Packy and Rob, I moved back to Philly, and I can't remember how we all we were friends from college. I can't really remember what like reconnected us. I feel like I just moved back and was like, hey, do you guys want to hang out? And they were like, yeah, sure. And I just like played them some of the songs, and they were starting North Room Records.
Oh, fun.
Which it's a really cool small project that they do where they're just recording people like me, where I didn't know what I was doing. I couldn't have recorded it myself. I truly had never used a DAW in my life.
Right.
So I really needed some help and some guidance. And they were really so helpful. I think they really listened and heard me out on what I wanted to do.
Right. They heard your vision. And
yeah, they worked within a small budget. I mean, we made it in my bedroom and Rob's. I think all of our bedrooms were used in the recording of Tailspin. And then Rob works at Tribe Sounds in Westchester. So we did do a couple sessions at the studio there, which was awesome. But it was such a great first experience because I had no idea what I was doing. And I felt like I was able to really share what I wanted, and they were really able to track it in a way that felt really good. And also just helped me, like I uploaded it to DistroKid all wrong, and like they just did. They helped me so much. even
Now, so I'm not a musician, so I don't know, but it just seems like stuff is unnecessarily complicated. Like whether it's bands in town or
yeah.
SoundCloud or all this other stuff, it's like everything must be just formatted so differently, and it's just like it must be hard to just do it.
I feel like maybe because everyone like needs it, they don't necessarily feel the need to update it, or maybe they can't really update it because so many people are using it all the time. I'm
Sure.
not sure how that works. Yeah, but it definitely those sites do feel a little outdated and not super user friendly. Actually, I don't feel that way about DistroKid. I think once I sat down and like read everything, I was like, okay, you can't like upload a song on Thursday that you want out the next day on Friday. You got to give it 4 weeks, you know, and they do say all that stuff.
Right.
But
Sure.
yeah.
Interesting. Cool. Well, before we move on your story, you had said you might be able to perform tonight, and I think it was one of these
Yeah,
tracks, right?
bad haircut.
Cool. Yeah, let's do that. So what I'll do is I'll give you the center stage, and I'll come off, and if you want to give if there is any other kind of like specific inspiration behind this songwriting, go ahead and share.
Okay. Well, this was the first song, like I mentioned, this is the first song that I ever finished writing, and I did make a little first demo in my camper van while I was in I was sitting by Lake Michigan. I think it was Indiana Dunes National Park. So that's like where the song really comes from. And I had a really bad haircut at the time, but it wasn't really that was getting me down. It was external things. So this is that. I hope this sounds okay for you. Sounds good for me, so I'm gonna go for it. When the wave finally lifts away, I'm still on the ground. You've got the path you take. I'm still chasing clouds. I'll find my way. Life happens, we all pay our dues. You wake up and I snooze. No sense in pretending I've got things to do. I'll find my way.
expression. Turning away. I know he knows. It's not about the band. More expression. Turning away. He knows. What about the
Awesome.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
I've never played
That is so.
to a live stream before, so
There you go.
it was a first.
There you go. It sounded
Thanks.
fantastic.
Thanks for listening and and just asking me about it.
Yeah, no, it's so good. And if I understand it right, a bad haircut also, you very often cut your own hair, even though you tell yourself
I
you
shouldn't, but now I live with my best friend who's a hairdresser, so she is saving me from myself.
It's good to surround yourself with people
Yes,
like that.
with people who have skills that
Please
you do
save
not
me
have.
from myself.
Uh-huh.
Yes, there you go. No, thank you so much for performing. That
Yeah,
was
thank
stunning.
you for asking me to.
Absolutely. So then from there, there's the other tracks. I guess there's a couple of singles that come out, like the Koi
Yeah.
song that we played earlier, and the cover we talked about earlier, the Dr. Dog cover. And then, where's this journey taking us now?
I know. That's such a good question. I wish I knew. I'm back in the van. No, the van.
Yeah.
I don't have the van anymore. I drive a Honda Fit, which I
Okay.
like, but will not be camping in at any point.
Fit Life.
Fit Life.
Not quite the same.
Yeah,
but,
it doesn't have the same ring to it, does it? I mean, I'm here in Philly. I love it here. I feel like I've been back for about 2 years now, and it feels really great. I feel like it's one of the best places to be as a young artist. And so just trying to play a lot more. I do have an EP that comes out June 14th, which I'm really excited
Nice.
about.
Yep.
Glimmer came out last month, and Big Enough.
Which that's what we're gonna play
Oh,
after
cool.
the credits. Yeah, the Glimmer song is
Thanks.
terrific, and we're gonna play that there. And we do have your track that's coming out this weekend, but we get to play it here.
Yeah,
exclusive.
I'm so excited. Thanks for asking, because I love XPN has premiered a couple of songs in the past, so I love doing this.
Right.
It's a fun thing to have.
Awesome. So it's called Big Enough! Exclamation point. And what's the story behind this one?
Well, I mean, it's I'm not being very coy. The lyrics are I really felt like I just wasn't measuring up to my dreams and my goals, and it's really easy to look around. I'm 27, so I feel like I'm getting older. I'm almost 30, and I feel like I haven't done anything big with my life. And when I look around at other 27-year-olds or people younger than me who are, playing sold out stadiums and, doing music even full time, it can feel frustrating, and it can feel like,
I'm sure.
wow, I just don't have what it takes, or I just can't do this. This isn't for me. So Big Enough really became a song for me when I feel small and I feel like I can't do it, or I don't have what it takes. It's just a reminder to be consistent and keep trying to be big enough, and at least I won't live with regrets, or I won't feel like, what if? I'll know,
Sure.
I'm
Right.
where I'm
Right.
supposed to be because I tried all these other things and they were dead ends. They didn't lead me down the path that I thought they would. And I think there's a lot of peace that can come from that.
Sure. Absolutely. Let's take a listen. Thank you again so much for letting us premiere
Oh,
it here.
yeah.
So take a listen to "Big Enough" by Zoe Lemon.
Stayed up late on my phone, waiting for what I don't know. Anything to get me feeling good about myself. I have a soft spot for nonsense confidence. Ask forgiveness, but never permission. Let me show you I am something you want. So stand sure, weightless, baby, I can take this. Believe in small things. I know I could be just big enough, big enough. How can I be big enough? Don't know how to be big enough for you. Don't know how to stay out of the rear view. Big enough, how can I be big enough? Don't know how to be big enough for you. Don't know how to stay out of the rear view. Do you find peace pumping gas? I see it as a breath in the dance. Zone out at the pump, see what I dream to be. Feeling too old to be this stuck. Maybe I'm aimless, am I doing too much? If I let go of these obsessive thoughts, I'd have a ton of stuff. Substantial, weightless, baby, I can take this. Believe in small things. I know I could be just big enough, big enough. How can I be big enough? Don't know how to be big enough for you. Don't know how to stay out of the rear view. Big enough, how can I be big enough? Don't know how to be big enough for you. Don't know how to stay out of the rear view.
So as that resolves, I just kind of wanted to mention, like, you do have also very clever lyrics at times, like where you've got this mention of stay out of the rear view, which obviously means stop looking backwards and look forwards kind of thing. And it's, different moments. You talked about looping time in Koi, and I don't know, it's just like there's some really poetic elements to your lyrics.
Thank you.
too.
I
Yeah.
appreciate that. I love to read, so I can only credit other people's creativity and me being a big old swiper and then trying to change it to feel more applicable
Sure.
to me.
Well, someone said, all art is plagiarism, and so like it's simply just a way of honoring that art that you loved and just kind of morphing it
Yeah.
into your own.
I'm definitely
Yeah. Beautiful track. I mean, there's maturity going on too, where there's just this. Obviously, that one is you shared all the emotions that went into it, and so there's that, which is it is a mature feeling to feel like, hey, I'm pushing all this energy into something, and it's not where I hoped it would be at this point in my life, and so that's going to resonate with a lot of
Thanks.
people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it definitely feels like something I come back to a lot, and I feel like I keep writing like similar songs, so I guess that means I'm not over it. Yeah, I'm like, I gotta.
It's the relationship you're still not over.
I'm still not feeling big enough.
Yeah. But is there any other through line on this album that's coming out? So, like, obviously, that first one had those songs that were around the same time. They weren't about hair, but they all had titles that were about hair. But is there any other kind of collective that these tracks come together on, or is it just kind of what you were working
I think
on at the time?
sonically, there's a way better a correlation between tracks. And I think the word
Sure.
maturity, I haven't thought of till you said that, but I definitely hear that between.
I was definitely
Yeah,
picking that
I
up.
feel like
Yeah.
I've grown a lot as a person and certainly as a musician between Tailspin and this new EP.
hmm
So I think that those are some strong through lines. I I mean, there's a lot of like car references still. I don't know why, but that makes its way into all my songs. I'm
Yeah.
totally.
It's just who you
But the
are.
funny
That's
thing is,
it.
it's not. Ask my brother, who's like a mechanic. I mean, I can't change the oil. I never check the oil. I don't do anything. He has to call me to be like, add coolant. I'm like, what are all these
Right.
emojis on my dashboard? He's like,
How do I get these lights to turn
exactly. I'm
off?
like, I've
Yeah.
stopped the car, started it 3 times. It's still doing that. So I'm not a motorhead, but I guess I do feel like there's something really fascinating about.
Well, there's a beauty to them, of
Yeah, and it
course.
just feels like we're all so reliant. Like everyone has a car or has experiences with a car. Everyone has pumped gas before. Everyone knows what a rear view mirror looks like.
Yeah. Yep. And the metaphor
Yeah.
as well. So, okay, so let's promote things. So we have the new track coming out that we just listened to this Friday. The full release is in June. And then we have, that'll come out right around Philly, the Wayne Music
Yeah, it'll
Fest, won't
come. Wayne Music Fest is June 7th, and
Okay.
the EP comes out the next weekend on the 14th.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're down near Philly, Wayne Music Fest, if you're up here in the Lehigh Valley, Bethlehem, the Music Fest in August, those dates and times will still be yet to be announced. But the cool part about this is you get to be on the list of next fave bands that are playing the festival. So like we'll be promoting the heck out of
cool.
it. So yeah, absolutely. And then what else can we promote? So anything else, any other shows or any other, obviously your Instagram is a great follow. So people can get all of the latest news there, which again, I wasn't joking, is Zoe, not Zoey, is the actual
I'm glad
handle.
you get it. Some people, not
Yeah.
to say people don't read, but I've been surprised.
Pay attention.
But also don't. Who cares?
Yeah,
I answer to
right.
both. My parents did name me Zoe.
Yeah.
You can take it up with them if you.
There you go. Well, they'll be at one of these shows. I'm
Probably
sure.
all.
Yeah, there you go.
If
Cool.
anyone is in the Doylestown area on this Saturday, on the 17th, the playing Picnics on Pine, which will be
Oh, very cool.
really fun. I think it's their 5th season block party. So that's sure to be a great time. And then other than that, I'm really going on hiatus, if you will, and doing some more writing and getting into the studio. Maybe working on a full length. I don't know, Phil, if I can
Wow.
handle it, but it's what I want to do. We'll see what happens.
Sure. And there's got to be cars
Exactly.
and hair and a goat and 12 chickens
All of the above.
and iPhones and pools.
100%.
Absolutely. So, like I mentioned, we're going to play Glimmer, which is the single that released right before this one, after the credits. So, if you want to give that a little bit of a setup here, and then we'll play it for the fans and followers after.
No
the
setup
credits.
for me. Just this is a song for everybody. I think I really wish hopefulness and glimmers of hope for everyone. And sometimes they're hard to see, but keep looking. They're definitely there. They're definitely active in your life.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
Awesome. Well, Zoe Lemon, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. This has been really fun. And
Absolutely.
Can't wait to listen. I listen to Next Fave Band on all my runs. So I'm a fan. I don't know if I'll listen to my own episode. That feels a little bit weird and maybe narcissistic.
No, you got to do it. You got to do it. You got to pad my numbers anyway. Like, just at least download
Okay,
it.
fine.
That's amazing. All right. Well, thank you again, and can't wait to see you play.
Hi,
live.
thank you so much.
Bye, Zoe. Well, there you have Zoe Lemon, violinist, songwriter, and bad cook. I didn't get to ask her about that, but we'll just take her at her word. But phenomenal songwriter and a tremendous violinist. Hope you really can't believe she played live. That's so cool. And then just great music coming out. But like I said, in 2 weeks, you can take a listen to what we've got coming up, and we'll be talking about multiple moments where she'll be performing in the area.
So
and
let's say goodbye to everybody.
We hope you've enjoyed this episode of Your Next Favorite Band. We'd like to sincerely thank Zoe Lemon for sharing all these incredible stories. It was just so much fun to learn much more about all the backstories, the inspirations, and the various farm animals that had been in her life. Like I said, just such a great opportunity to hear her perform live and on the show here, and then got to see it in person during the summertime. We'll be linking in the show notes to all of the various things like the YouTube channel, Bandcamp, and the various different ways you can access her music, as well as the Instagram page, which will be a great way to keep up with what she's got going on and any other additional announcements down the road. As always, our hope here is to bring you your next favorite band. If you tuned in tonight because you already knew Zoe Lemon, thank you very much. We hope you like what you heard and what you saw, that you might give us a like, a subscribe, and a follow so that we could bring you your next favorite band in a coming week. Or your next favorite band might already be out there. NextFaveBand.com has over 150 interviews that we've done. They're all available on demand, both the video version and the audio podcast version. If you need any help navigating that, we always love to help out. So if you would like to kind of reach out and we can help you identify maybe some you should focus on, or just, I always say, pick three. At a minimum, you're going to enjoy the stories, and then you'll most likely find your next favorite band in that little gathering. But anyway, lots of great stuff coming up. Hope to see you at a live show soon. And now one more track from Zoe Lemon. The very recently released Glimmer, the forthcoming EP coming out in June. Enjoy.
I've been practicing discernment, not sure it's working. Always a little nervous, I'm messing my one life up. Peering in the mirror, trying to see me clearer. Foggy reflection, the girl in my head isn't taking shape. There's something missing, I wanna find out. Will check my feelings for an oversight. I just need one glimmer of hope I can uncover. A silver-lined reminder of the heart of the matter. I just need one glimmer of hope I can uncover. A silver-lined reminder of the heart of the matter. Nothing more embarrassing, constantly comparing. Maybe it's the phase I'm in, I see problems that just don't happen. There's something missing, I wanna find out. Check my feelings for an oversight. I just need one glimmer of hope silver line reminder of the heart of the matter. I just need one glimmer of a hope I can uncover. The silver line reminder of the heart of the matter. Try a little less hard. Give a little more now. Looking to channel my existential